What if I told you the most powerful force in the universe isn't far away? It's actually resting right inside your mind, just waiting to be awakened. Before we dive in, hit that like button and share where you're tuning in from today. It's always cool to see where everyone's watching. Right now, within you, there's an ancient energy most people have completely forgotten about. I'm not talking about some magical idea or a trendy concept. This is the most practical, science-backed truth about how our minds work, and it's been sitting in plain view for ages. Your subconscious mind, that deep inner space, controls everything. Your heartbeat, your beliefs. It's been waiting for you to learn to communicate with it. Have you ever found yourself trying everything to change your life? Reading books, attending workshops, making vision boards, and yet you're still stuck in the same patterns, facing the same struggles? What you're about to learn might surprise you. The issue was never your hard work or your dreams. The issue is that you've been hunting for answers in all the wrong spots. For ages, we've been taught to look for solutions outside ourselves. We've built complex systems, consulted endless experts, and created what Joseph Murphy calls stone temples. Meanwhile, we have the most amazing temple of all right within us, our own consciousness. This inner temple doesn't need costly memberships, special credentials, or perfect conditions. It only needs one thing: your willingness to remember the creative power you were born with. Every day, you're already tapping into this power. Every word you say with belief, every image you visualize with feeling, every truth you accept, these aren't just random thoughts. They're active commands sent straight to your most loyal assistant, your subconscious mind. And here's the kicker: this assistant never questions your orders. It never takes a break and always delivers exactly what you've programmed it to create. Now, stick around, because things are going to get really interesting. You're about to rethink how you see your relationship with reality. Many people unknowingly fill their subconscious with negative messages. They're sowing seeds of limitation, watering them with doubt, and then they wonder why their dreams don't blossom. The wisdom that Joseph Murphy brought to light isn't about learning something entirely new. It's more about waking up to what you've always known but might have forgotten. It's about taking your rightful place as the director of your own life story, instead of just sitting in the audience, confused and helpless. If you find these ideas helpful and want to keep exploring this path of awakening, I'd love for you to subscribe. We're creating a community of folks eager to understand how their minds truly function, and your involvement makes it stronger. In just a few moments, you'll get the blueprint for chatting with that inner wisdom in a way it truly responds to. This language isn't filled with complicated theories or fancy equations. It's far more personal and immediate. It's the self-image you hold deep within your mind. That's where true transformation kicks off, and it's different from anything you've been taught before. There's a big difference between learning something with your mind and waking up to what you already have. Traditional education treats you like an empty container waiting to be filled. But this journey we're on is all about awakening to an inheritance that has always been yours. This shift changes everything about how we look at personal growth. When you learn as a student, you gather facts and analyze ideas, storing them in your conscious mind. But when you awaken as an heir, something much deeper happens. That knowledge doesn't just linger in your memory. It embeds itself directly in your subconscious, which is where your true path is being shaped, moment by moment. Now let's dive even deeper into this hidden truth that many folks miss. Right now, quietly at work in your subconscious. Your subconscious mind holds a clear picture of who you are. This isn't just a passing thought or a simple view of your skills. It's a blueprint that shapes every part of your reality. Your health, your finances, your relationships, even where you live. All of these reflect this internal image you have of yourself. What's really interesting is that most people aren't even aware this is happening. They see their circumstances and think they're victims of bad luck, genetics, or choices made by others. But the truth is, your outside world mirrors this inner self-image, which has been quietly running in the background of your mind. Here's the exciting part. This image isn't set in stone. It's not a life sentence you have to endure forever. Think of your self-image as software. It can be updated, rewritten, and transformed. The question isn't if you can change, but if you're ready to take charge of that change. Consider this for a moment. If your current life is shaped by an unconscious program in your mind, then changing that program is the quickest way to transform your life. This isn't just about thinking positively or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing how your inner world creates your outer experience. This realization is huge. When you understand that your subconscious is consistently trying to turn your self-image into reality, you start to see every challenge and limitation in your life as important clues about what's programmed inside you. Many people find themselves struggling despite their hard work. They want to change their outcomes, but leave their self-image the same. It's like trying to alter what you see on your computer screen while ignoring the software that controls it. Until you update that underlying program, the same patterns will keep showing up. Our journey together isn't about wanting different things or just building willpower. It's about realizing that you're in control of your own subconscious mind. When you get that, everything shifts. Your thoughts start to be intentional instead of just random. Your words turn into tools for creating your reality, not just sounds. Your mental images become blueprints for your future, not just daydreams. If this speaks to you, drop a comment saying, "I'm ready to reprogram." The moment you step into being the conscious programmer of your life, something might feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's crucial to grasp. There's a deep pattern in human psychology that stands in the way of many people experiencing their breakthroughs. Even if someone learns about the power of the mind or gets the concepts, they often stay stuck in what I call the victim cycle. If this talk sparks new ideas for you, a quick like on this video helps spread these insights to others who might be ready. This cycle is tricky because it pretends to be wise. People agree about mental power, share inspiring quotes, and attend seminars or read books about making changes. But then they return to their daily routines, speaking in limiting ways, holding on to the same negative thoughts, and making choices from a disempowered mindset. Here's what's going on behind the scenes. Most folks take on personal change as an emotional task instead of a mental one. They think they need to feel different before thinking differently or be motivated before changing their inner dialogue. This keeps them stuck because feelings are effects, not causes. Your emotions result from your mental programming, not the other way around. The real change happens when you see that breaking free from victimhood is about something much simpler and powerful, being deliberate with your thoughts. It's about choosing your thoughts consciously, just like you would with anything else. You carefully choose your outfit each day, right? Well, think of that same focus when you're talking to yourself. It's like a surgeon making a precise cut. This way of thinking works wonders because you're teaming up with the most reliable partner you'll ever have, your subconscious mind. Most folks don't really grasp its power. It's straightforward in how it functions, but it packs a serious punch. It follows your lead, but it's far from lazy. Imagine having the ultimate employee, one who never calls in sick, never takes time off, and never questions what you've asked them to do. This understanding could completely change how you view transformation in your life. Right now, as you listen, your subconscious is hard at work based on the ideas you've recently given it. If you've been planting thoughts of limitation, it's busy figuring out how to make those limitations real. If you keep imagining failure or disappointment, it's working to bring those thoughts to life. But here's the good news. The moment you introduce new ideas, it pivots and dedicates itself to those fresh instructions with the same loyalty. Your subconscious doesn't care what you want to create. It doesn't judge if your goals seem too lofty or too small. It won't analyze whether you think you deserve what you're wishing for. It simply takes whatever you consistently feed it and starts turning those thoughts into reality. That's why the victim mindset is so unnecessary and sad. People stay stuck, not because change is hard, but because they keep telling their subconscious the same old story, hoping for different results. They feed it lines like, "Nothing ever works out for me," or "I always struggle with money," and then wonder why they're still stuck in those patterns, even when they want something better. The real breakthrough happens when you grasp that every single thought, every word, every picture in your mind is either programming your subconscious for success or struggle. There's no middle ground. You're always programming something. The only thing you need to ask yourself is whether you're doing it on purpose. Now, let me share something that could completely change how you view mental programming. There's a key mechanism at play that most people don't realize exists. If you're ready to take charge of this process, write in the comments, "I choose conscious programming." This mechanism is based on a principle so basic that you've been unknowingly using it your whole life. Yet many people miss its incredible power. Remember when you learned to walk as a kid? It wasn't just one big moment of realization or a flash of inspiration. No, you got there through something way more reliable: repetition and persistence. Every time you stumbled, each wobbly step, every small adjustment, it all programmed your nervous system until walking felt as easy as breathing. Your subconscious mind learns the same way. Just like your body needed practice to coordinate its movements, your mind needs regular mental practice to create new thought patterns and outcomes. This isn't about mindlessly repeating affirmations or saying phrases without meaning. It's about knowing that every word you speak with intent, every image you focus on with purpose, and every thought you guide consciously is like giving direct instructions to a highly sophisticated system. When Joseph Murphy talks about prayer, he's not talking about desperate pleas that most people think of. He's describing a more practical and immediate approach, the art of giving clear, specific instructions to your subconscious mind. Each time you pick your words carefully, you're really programming your inner system. Every success you learn about and take to heart serves as proof for your subconscious to create similar successes in your own life. If you're finding this content helps you see things differently, consider subscribing. Every video I make is aimed at providing you with useful tools for mental programming that truly work, not just feel-good ideas that don't lead to real change. This shifts how you handle personal growth. You're not trying to convince yourself of something that might be true or trying to create feelings you don't really have. Instead, you're simply engaging directly. Reprogramming your mind takes consistent mental discipline. It's just like learning any other skill, except this skill is about consciously creating your reality. I want to share something that can really change how you see this whole process. We're not diving into religion or traditional spirituality here. You don't need to adopt new beliefs or follow specific doctrines. Instead, think of it as entering an invisible temple. This sacred space is right within your own mind. In this temple, your mind is the altar, and your words are the offerings. What makes this approach stand out? You don't need traditional faith to enter. No, it requires something much more practical: application. The universal laws that shape your subconscious don't care if you believe in them. They work with the same reliability as gravity or electricity, no matter what you think about them. This realization frees you from the pressure of needing to believe to see results. You don't have to assure yourself that these principles will work. Just apply them with the same steady determination you would use to learn any new skill. The proof will come through the changes that start to show up in your life. The great thing about these universal laws is that they are completely impartial. They don't play favorites and don't need you to be spiritually advanced or emotionally perfect. They simply react to consistent application with predictable results. When you grasp this, the whole journey feels less like a mystery and more like a science. You're no longer waiting for divine help. You're engaging with reliable principles that respond when you actively participate. This is why many who learn these principles experience quick transformations that may seem miraculous to others. They aren't getting special treatment or lucky breaks. They've just figured out how to work with laws that have always affected their lives. Now, they are doing it intentionally instead of accidentally. The shift this brings is huge. When you stop relying solely on willpower to change your life and start collaborating with these principles, everything changes. With the natural programming of your subconscious, you find that change isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable. Instead of battling against your own mind, you start to work with it, and there's something deeper happening behind this process. It's why some folks seem to easily get what they want, while others struggle for ages without noticeable results. If you're ready to take this seriously, write in the comments, "I'm entering the temple." The key to this difference lies in one powerful realization that can change how you relate to language. When you truly understand that every word you say, every feeling you hold on to, and every picture you create in your mind acts like a seed planted in your subconscious, everything shifts. You can't just chat casually or think haphazardly anymore. This isn't about becoming obsessive. It's about waking up to the truth that your words have a creative power beyond what most realize. Consider this. Each word you speak or think isn't just sound or a passing thought. It's a living instruction being sent to the most responsive and creative part of your mind. Many people go through life unconsciously, filling their subconscious with random, contradicting, and often harmful commands. They might say, "I'm so stupid," after a mistake, or "I never have enough money," when bills come around. They think they're just venting frustration, but their subconscious takes every one of those phrases as a serious command for reality. This insight changes how you communicate with others and yourself. When you recognize that your subconscious is always listening and recording, always getting ready to turn whatever it hears into reality, you start to choose your words more carefully. You stop making casual complaints or expressing random negativity. You become more intentional with your language. You see, you're actually shaping your future with every word you say. If you're feeling that connection, go ahead and hit the like button. It's a quick way to show this message hit home for you. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This idea goes beyond just being careful with your words. It uncovers the hidden reasons behind everything you're experiencing in your life. Every situation, every relationship, and every challenge you face doesn't stem from outside forces or random luck. Instead, it all comes from the invisible seeds planted deep in your subconscious mind. This is the truth that shifts your perspective on life. Your financial status? That's the result of the beliefs and thoughts you've been nurturing for years. Your health reflects the images and emotions you fed yourself through subconscious programming. And your relationships? They mirror how you feel about love, trust, and how worthy you believe you are of connection. Grasping this concept is both freeing and a little daunting. It's freeing because you realize you're not just a victim of your circumstances or genetics. Every part of your reality is linked to thoughts you can notice, evaluate, and change. But it's also daunting because it means taking full responsibility for your role as the gardener of your mind. Your subconscious is like rich, fertile soil. Every thought you dwell on, every belief you hold, every emotion you embrace becomes a seed in that soil. Just like in a garden, what grows there is entirely up to you and how you care for it. The path we're on together is all about becoming a conscious gardener instead of one who's oblivious. Many people are surprised when they start looking at the seeds they've been planting without even realizing it. They find they've been growing worry instead of confidence, scarcity instead of abundance, and criticism instead of appreciation. No wonder their results don't match what they genuinely desire. But here's the exciting part. Once you recognize this process, you can start making intentional choices about what to plant in your mind. Your subconscious is like rich soil, always ready to grow whatever new seeds you put in, no matter what was there before. Now, let's get into the most straightforward part of this whole idea. There's a particular way your subconscious mind handles these mental seeds that decides if they'll sprout into the experiences you desire or if they'll keep producing what you want to change. If you're ready to take charge of your mind, write in the comments, "I'm planting new seeds." Your subconscious mind works without judgment. It doesn't weigh the goodness or badness of your thoughts. It doesn't care if your mental images will help you or hold you back. It doesn't filter out ideas that might lead to trouble. Just like soil that will grow whatever you plant, whether it's crops or weeds, good or bad, your subconscious accepts whatever thoughts you keep feeding it, especially when they're packed with emotion. This neutral nature of your subconscious is both amazing and risky. On one hand, it gives you unlimited creative power. On the other hand, it means that whatever instructions you give it, it will follow, no matter if those instructions match what you really want. Your subconscious doesn't mind if you're setting it up for success or failure, health or illness, abundance or struggle. It just reacts to how strongly and often you think about something. That's why so many people find themselves in patterns they want to break free from but can't. They aren't just victims of bad luck or their genes. They're like unconscious farmers, unintentionally growing the very things they're trying to avoid. The sad part? They've been working just as hard to create their problems as successful people do to achieve their breakthroughs. But they're doing it without even realizing it. There's a clear link between our thoughts and how our lives turn out. Think about those phrases we often hear. Some are so automatic, we don't even notice we're saying them. Take "this always happens to me." It pops up all the time. When someone says this, filled with frustration or resignation, they're telling their subconscious, "Keep this up." They think they're just talking about bad luck, but instead, they're cementing the very habit they want to escape. Another phrase that's damaging is, "I never have luck." Millions say that daily, believing it's just the truth. But to the subconscious, it's a command, one that blocks good chances and keeps struggle alive. They unintentionally build their own limitations, laying down bricks with every repeat thought. If you're ready to dive deeper and learn how to create the life you truly want, subscribing to this channel will keep you in the loop with practical insights to change everything for the better. What makes this all the more tragic is how hard people work to turn their lives around. They switch jobs, relocate, try different strategies, read self-help books, and attend seminars. But they're still filling their minds with the same limiting beliefs that got them in trouble in the first place. It's like trying to grow a new crop while planting the same bad seeds. The real issue behind many ongoing life struggles isn't that life is tough or that someone is unlucky. It's largely about how they've unknowingly programmed their subconscious to repeat those old limiting patterns. Their conscious mind wants change, but their deeper thoughts are busy maintaining the status quo. This realization can be both a wake-up call and a beacon of hope. It's a wake-up call because it emphasizes the need to take full responsibility for what you've created in your life, even the thoughts you really don't want. But here's the good news. The same mental habits that hold you back can be turned around to work in your favor. The shift from an unconscious thinker to a conscious creator isn't about mastering advanced tricks or gaining some special powers. It's about recognizing what you're already planting in your mind and choosing what you truly want to grow instead. Your subconscious is already set up perfectly and doing its job. The real question is, will you guide its power on purpose or let it run on autopilot? But there's something crucial happening here that many miss. The key to whether your new ideas will take root and flourish. If you're starting to see the old programs that have been running in your mind, write in the comments, "I see my patterns." What really makes those new thoughts take hold isn't just the words you say or the pictures you imagine. It's the consistency and true emotion behind them that make a difference. This is where theory turns into real-life changes and where you can really see the impact of these ideas. Let me share a story that shows this transformation in action. There was a woman who battled chronic fatigue for years. She tried countless treatments, saw multiple doctors, and explored different therapies, but nothing provided long-lasting relief. Her energy stayed low, affecting her work and her relationships. What turned everything around wasn't some new medication or procedure. It was a simple choice to consciously reprogram her subconscious. Every night for a month, she repeated a specific affirmation with true intention. "I am pure energy. My body responds to life." This wasn't about idle repetition or just hoping for the best. She was purposefully changing the type of thoughts she allowed into her mind. She realized that her fatigue was partly due to years of unconscious beliefs about her body's limits and energy levels. The change was incredible. In just those 30 days, her chronic fatigue started to fade away, and she didn't need any extra treatments. She started feeling better. Her energy came back, her zest for life surged, and everything changed for her. It wasn't some magical event. It was just her allowing her subconscious to create a new reality through positive thoughts. This idea works in every part of life, even finances. Take a guy who lived in real scarcity for years. Despite working hard and trying different methods to improve his money situation, he always seemed to be just scraping by. Like many, he had filled his mind with thoughts of limitation and lack without even realizing it. Then he decided to make a change. He started repeating, "I am a channel of infinite provision. Everything comes to me easily." What really made the difference? He practiced gratitude every day for what he had, no matter how small. He wasn't pretending to believe something he didn't. He was genuinely reprogramming his mind to recognize abundance. If this makes sense to you and resonates with your life, hit that like button. It helps others who are looking for these answers. In just 6 weeks of this consistent mindset shift, an unexpected opportunity popped up that took care of his financial worries. This wasn't just luck, it was the result of aligning his thoughts with abundance instead of scarcity. These stories show us how real change happens. Many think change needs big actions or drastic life shifts, but often the most significant transformations come from small, steady tweaks to your mindset. When you change what you focus on inside, your outside world starts to change too. Remember, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what you're actually living. When you consistently nourish your mind with positive visions, everything starts to shift. It paints a picture of health, vitality, abundance, and success, filled with real emotion. This sets the stage for how you think, decide, and act, creating a reality that aligns with those mental images. That's why these ideas work, no matter where you start or what your situation is. Your subconscious isn't held back by your past experiences, your bank balance, or your health records. It reacts to what you're feeding it right now, through the choices you make about your thoughts and the images you nurture. But there's something deeper happening behind the scenes of these changes. It shows why some people see results almost instantly, while others seem to struggle for months without much progress. If you see the power of conscious mental programming in these real-life examples, write in the comments, "Programming works." The difference between those who transform quickly and those who feel stuck comes from understanding how your subconscious mind really works. Many think of their subconscious like a filing cabinet where thoughts just sit and wait. But that's far from the truth. Your subconscious is more like living soil, always active, always working. It collects every word you say with belief and every image you hold with real feeling. This changes everything about how you think about mental programming. Your subconscious isn't just waiting for you to sit down for meditation or organized affirmations. It's working right now, in this very moment. It's processing every little conversation you have with yourself, the casual thoughts while driving, the mental chatter while watching TV, the silent chats in bed. These are your true cultivation efforts. Think about it. Too many people are careless with their inner dialogue, treating it like background noise instead of the main tool for shaping their future experiences. They'll spend hours figuring out the best diets for their health, but completely overlook the power of their own thoughts. Many people don't realize the mental food they're giving their subconscious every day. Those who see changes quickly know that transformation isn't just a hobby. They see that every moment of self-talk is either planting helpful seeds or harmful ones. They become mindful gardeners of their own minds, watching the quality of thoughts they nurture, not just during practice, but all throughout the day. This connects to a major spiritual truth. Jesus once said that the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sows good seeds in his field. He wasn't just making a religious point. He was describing how your inner mind works. That field? It's your subconscious. The good seed symbolizes the positive thoughts, uplifting images, and life-affirming beliefs you can choose to plant there. This message reveals a key lesson in spirituality and personal growth. The kingdom of heaven isn't a place you reach after you die. It's a way of thinking you can tap into right now by choosing to sow the right seeds in your mind. When you repeatedly plant thoughts of health, abundance, love, and peace with real emotion, your outer world starts to mirror those inner feelings. But here's the twist. The story also mentions how, while the man slept, an enemy sowed weeds among the wheat. This is what happens when you're not actively caring for your mental garden. Your subconscious is always at work, never taking a rest. If you're not intentionally planting positive thoughts, negativity from your surroundings, past experiences, and hidden fears will creep in. That's why some people seem to glide through life with ease, while others are stuck in a cycle of problems. Those who succeed have become careful gardeners of their minds. They get it. Mental gardening isn't a side gig. It's a full-time job that shapes the quality of their entire life. Our journey here is about waking up to this important truth. Taking responsibility is the most crucial work you'll ever do. Every choice you make about what to think, what to say, and what to imagine shapes your future. Your internal dialogue isn't just noise. It's the hidden map guiding your life. Now let's dive into what happens when this fertile ground of your subconscious hits a bump in the road. There's a tricky pattern that trips up most people before they even know it's happening. If you're ready to own the quality of your inner conversation, write, "I'm tending my garden" in the comments. This pattern of resistance shows up in unexpected ways. It's tied to a common misunderstanding about how your subconscious mind really works. Unlike your conscious mind, which gets tired and needs breaks, your subconscious is always awake. It's like a law that never sleeps. Right now, while you're hearing this, your subconscious is at work. It's active when you're strolling outside, chatting with friends, dealing with tough emotions, and even while you sleep. It doesn't pause for rest, take vacations, or wait for you to figure things out before it starts doing its job. Your subconscious doesn't consult with your conscious mind. It works directly, using the instructions you regularly give it. Understanding this shifts everything about how you think about personal growth. Many believe they can spend 20 minutes boosting their mindset in the morning and then let random thoughts take over all day without any impact. But here's the thing. Your subconscious doesn't have a part-time schedule. Every minute you're awake, it's gathering information about your true beliefs, your real expectations, and what you're actually programming it to create. When there's no filtering, this becomes a game changer. When it comes to your subconscious mind, there's a big opportunity, but also a big risk. When you send a clear, emotional image to your subconscious, it takes that as an order. It doesn't think about whether this image is something you want or something you're trying to avoid. It doesn't check if it's good for you or bad for you. It simply accepts the feelings behind it and goes to work without any filters. This is why many people find it hard to change, even when they really want to. They might spend time visualizing success, health, or wealth, but then they worry about failures or imagine the worst that could happen. Their subconscious picks up on both the positive and negative messages equally, but it tends to act on the ones that feel the strongest and are thought about the most. The real issue for many people is that their conscious wants clash with their subconscious habits. They want to be healthy but spend their time fixating on their aches. They dream of financial freedom yet focus on their bills and tight budgets. They yearn for loving relationships but dwell on past pain and future worries more than they visualize happy connections. Your subconscious doesn't sort out these mixed signals for you. It just follows whatever thoughts have the most emotional weight and the most repetition. That's why relying on willpower often doesn't bring about lasting change. You're trying to manage a system that runs on different rules than what you consciously choose. To create the reality you want, you need to realize that every thought you hold on to with emotion counts as a vote for the life your subconscious will build. You can't support abundance in the morning and stress about money all afternoon and then be surprised when things don't improve. You can't spend 10 minutes thinking about health and then 10 hours worrying about illness and expect your body to listen to the brief positive thoughts. This understanding shifts how you approach your mindset. Instead of forcing yourself to think positively or trying to push away negative thoughts, you begin to make mindful choices about what you focus on. Think about which thoughts really deserve your emotional energy. You start to see your attention as the valuable resource it truly is. Whatever you pour your feelings into shapes the blueprint your subconscious uses to build your experience. But there's a crucial point about timing that many folks miss. It's what can make or break your efforts to change long-standing habits. If you're starting to understand why sticking to your mental programming is so vital for real change, listen up. This timing revolves around a powerful and often overlooked opportunity we all have, the moment we drift off to sleep. This is where transformation truly begins. It's not that sleep is some magical state. It's what happens in the subconscious during those hours when your conscious mind takes a break. As your body relaxes and your conscious thoughts fade away, your subconscious becomes more active. Here's the big takeaway. Your subconscious is influenced by whatever thoughts, images, and feelings were on your mind just before you fell asleep. If those last thoughts are about peace, health, and abundance, your subconscious spends the night activating your inner healing and creativity. Think about that for a moment. For about 8 hours each night, your subconscious gets to work on whatever you've programmed into it without being interrupted by doubt or conflicting thoughts. If you set your mind on health and vitality before sleeping, your subconscious uses that time to repair cells and boost your immune system, aligning everything for better balance. And if you focus on abundance and opportunity, it will spend those hours organizing ideas and insights that guide you toward those goals. But if your last thoughts before sleep are full of worries, fears, or negativity, your subconscious will then invest that time reinforcing those feelings instead. When you constantly think about stress, you're strengthening the pathways in your brain that make stress a part of your daily experience. This shows that the moments right before you sleep are super important if you want to change your life. What you think, visualize, and feel as you drift into sleep lays the groundwork for a solid 8 hours of subconscious programming. Unfortunately, a lot of people mess this up. They spend this precious time going over problems, worrying, or replaying tough conversations from the day. But here's the thing. The way your subconscious mind works is often misunderstood. It doesn't care about the logical content of your thoughts. It reacts to the emotions tied to them. Most people believe they need to persuade their subconscious that their positive affirmations are true. But the truth is, your subconscious doesn't evaluate what's true or not. It's all about genuine feelings. So, it doesn't matter if you're joking or the context around your words. If you say something with real emotion, whether it's good or bad, your subconscious takes it as truth. This is why you need to be careful with what you say when you're feeling strong emotions. When you're angry, scared, or overwhelmed, those feelings amplify the impact of your words. Many folks might say, "I hate my life," or "I can't take this anymore," believing they're just venting their temporary feelings. But your subconscious hears those emotionally charged statements and takes them as commands for what kind of reality to keep creating. Understanding this shifts how you view tough emotions. Instead of seeing them as something to run away from, you start to see them as chances to plant new ideas when your subconscious is most open to them. The same intense feelings that can trap you in limitations can also be redirected to help you grow. The journey we're on together is really about learning how to take control of those emotional moments. Instead of letting them just program your mind with any random thoughts that pop up, you can consciously harness that power. When you realize that emotion is the key that locks in any mental programming, you can start using your feelings to help transform your life, not just as hurdles to jump over. Now let's talk about what happens when you mix this idea of emotional activation with some effective techniques that can literally rewire your subconscious mind at a very deep level. If you're catching on, write in the comments, "Emotions activate programming." You're starting to see how your feelings fuel what you create in your mind. When you connect that emotional spark with specific reprogramming methods, you tap into a deep truth about human consciousness. Remember when Jesus said, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks"? Most people see this as a lesson about character, but it actually tells us how our subconscious mind works. The abundance he talked about isn't just about money or even certain feelings. It directly points to what's stored in your subconscious. Everything you've been depositing there through repeated thoughts, strong emotions, and vivid mental images eventually shapes how you speak, what you decide, and even the situation of your life. This creates cycles of either creation or destruction, depending on what you've been putting into that mental storehouse. When your subconscious is filled with thoughts of health, abundance, above, love, and endless possibilities, those patterns naturally come out in cheerful speech, confident decisions, and actions that lead to success. On the flip side, if fear, limitation, resentment, and doubt fill that inner space, they'll express themselves through negative words, cautious choices, and habits that sabotage your goals. This realization changes how you perceive your inner world and your experience out there. Your current situation isn't just a coincidence. Events or cosmic accidents, they're just the outer signs of what's been running through your subconscious. The good part, you can update that content anytime. But there's a catch, a challenge that tests most people's commitment to change. It hits during key moments on their journey. The true test of what you understand comes not when things are easy and positive thinking flows, but during real pain or tough times. This is when many folks unknowingly reinforce the patterns they want to break. When they're uncomfortable, feeling down, or facing challenges, the natural instinct is to strengthen their suffering with thoughts of defeat. They might think, "This is never going to end," or "Why does this always happen to me?" In these vulnerable moments, people believe they're just being honest, but they're actually telling their subconscious to keep the suffering going. Each negative thought plants the seed for more of the same. But here's where conscious change can really shine. If you can maintain the discipline during tough times to say things like, "This too shall pass," or "God's light guides me through this," you can start turning things around. Instead of denial, you're steering your thoughts in a positive direction. You aren't ignoring the pain, and you're not pretending everything's perfect. You're intentionally programming yourself with thoughts that promote healing instead of prolonging the struggle. This shift is huge. It moves you from being an unconscious victim to being the creator of your own life. Instead of letting hard times trigger limiting beliefs and negative self-talk, you can use those moments to sow seeds of empowerment in the rich soil of strong emotions. The importance of this change is immense. When you learn to redirect your thoughts during difficult periods, you're breaking cycles that may have been stuck in your life for years, even decades. You're taking that intense emotion that could drag you down and using it to uplift yourself. Usually, we tend to reinforce our limitations instead of breaking through them. This doesn't mean that the pain goes away in an instant or that your outside world changes right away. What changes right now is how your subconscious is set up. Instead of using your emotional energy to keep those patterns you want to escape, you start channeling that energy into building a solid mental foundation for real change. The journey we're on together shows that your toughest moments aren't just roadblocks. They're actually your biggest chances for deep, lasting transformation. Those intense feelings give you the power to replace old habits with new ones. Now, I want to share a hands-on method that brings everything we've talked about into action. There's a specific technique that lets you speak healing and transformation directly into your body. If you're ready to turn tough times into moments for conscious change, say in the comments, "I redirect my pain." This technique shows you how to talk healing right into your body. Remember, your body isn't just a machine working on its own. Every cell and organ is connected and influenced by the constant flow of messages from your subconscious. Once you learn to guide those messages consciously, you tap into your body's amazing ability to heal and refresh itself. Let me show you a strong example of how quickly this can happen. There was a woman who struggled with heart palpitations at night for months. Each night, as she got ready for bed, her heart would race, filling her with anxiety that made it hard to sleep. Night after night, she would lie awake saying, "I'm afraid to die while sleeping." That phrase held a lot of emotional weight because it reflected her true fear. What she didn't realize was that this emotionally charged statement was giving her subconscious a direct command, keeping her cardiovascular system in a state of alertness and anxiety. Her heart was actually responding to this fearful programming. She was unknowingly shaping her reality through her inner dialogue. Change began when she figured out how to consciously shift her thoughts. Instead of feeding her fears, she started repeating, with real intention, "My heart is strong, it beats with divine life, I rest in peace." This wasn't just positive thinking or some wishy-washy affirmation. It was a purposeful way to reprogram what her subconscious was telling her body. The results were incredible. Within just 2 weeks of this mental shift, her nighttime heart palpitations disappeared. Her heart rate balanced out, her sleep got better, and her anxiety at bedtime vanishes. This wasn't some miracle cure. It was simply her brain providing her body with clear, positive instructions on how to function during rest. This shows us something deep about how our thoughts and physical reality connect. Your subconscious mind operates like a powerful image multiplier. When you picture yourself succeeding, healing, thriving, or feeling joy with genuine emotion and consistency, your subconscious doesn't just treat these images like nice daydreams. It takes them as real and starts working to make them happen. Consider the powerful implications of this. Every time you visualize yourself in great health, your subconscious gets busy adjusting hormones, boosting your immune system, and repairing cells to match that image. When you continually see yourself achieving your goals, your inner mind organizes thoughts, insights, and opportunities that help you reach those outcomes. This is why some successful people seem to have amazing luck or perfect timing. They're not just favored by the universe. They've learned to program their subconscious with vivid, emotionally charged pictures of success. Their mind responds by arranging circumstances that fit these mental blueprints. The hidden truth behind quick change is that your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. Both feel equally real to it. Your inner programming system is powerful. You can actually practice success, visualize health, and feel abundant right in your mind. If you do this consistently, your subconscious starts shaping the world around you to match what you imagine. But there's a trick to really boost this process, a technique that turns simple daydreaming into effective subconscious programming. The secret is knowing that your subconscious responds best not just to pictures, but to those that have strong feelings of gratitude and completion attached to them. I want to delve into a key part of this journey. It's a state of mind that supercharges everything we've talked about. If you're starting to grasp how your mental images mold your reality, write in the comments, "My images multiply." This special state that speeds things up is all about what I call the river analogy. Understanding this shifts how you see your transformation journey. Just like a river flows no matter the rocks or logs in its way, your subconscious keeps working regardless of what you consciously believe. You can deny it, ignore it, or even make fun of it, but it will still carry out what you send out with your thoughts and emotions. Right now, in this moment, your subconscious is busy creating. It's either crafting more of what you already have or bringing to life the new thoughts you've been focusing on. There's no time to pause, no off button, and no breaks from this flow. Just like that river, your subconscious keeps on moving, whether you notice it or not. The real insight here, you're always programming something. The question isn't if this process is at work. It's whether you're steering it on purpose or letting it run wild based on whatever thoughts and feelings pop up. Most people go through life without ever realizing they're in this ongoing process. You can actually take charge of the creative flow in your mind. There's an easy practice that turns random thoughts into powerful subconscious programming. It's so simple that many people tend to overlook its strength. All it takes is just 5 minutes when you wake up and another 5 minutes before you go to bed. Think of it as gently watering your mental garden with positive affirmations. You might think these few minutes don't pack much of a punch, especially compared to big, bold actions. But trust me, the impact on your subconscious is deep and lasting. Consider this, just 10 minutes a day. That's shorter than the time most folks spend scrolling through social media or watching TV ads. Yet, when you use those 10 minutes for deliberate programming, they become the most powerful moments of your day. During this focused time, you're not battling random thoughts, distractions, or that inner chatter that usually gets in the way. The secret to this silent watering technique lies in its timing and regularity, not how long you spend. Your subconscious is most open to change when you're shifting from waking to sleeping. In the morning, as your mind starts to wake up, it's a prime time because your subconscious is still in charge. The same goes for when you're drifting off to sleep. Your conscious mind starts to relax, giving you a perfect chance for direct programming. In those 5 minutes, you're having a private chat with the most powerful force in your universe. You're connecting with the intelligence that keeps your heart beating, helps you digest food, heals wounds, and manages all the complex processes keeping you alive. And even more than that, you're communicating with the same force that draws in opportunities, sparks insights, and sets up the coincidences that shape your life. This practice doesn't work because 5 minutes is magical. Instead, it's the consistent small actions that build and transform your subconscious over time. Each session adds to the last, slowly replacing old, limiting ideas with new and powerful beliefs. Just like how water gradually shapes stone, your daily thoughts and words slowly but surely change your life. This method works so well because you don't need any special skills, fancy techniques, or ideal situations. All it takes is the dedication to speak to your subconscious with purpose and consistency. Treat these daily moments as sacred meetings with your creativity. Now let's dive into a key part of this journey. When you pair daily practice with a clear understanding of your connection to the universe's creative power, something amazing happens. Tell me in the comments, I commit to watering. That's if you're ready to start this powerful daily routine of conscious programming. When you mix consistency with a deeper awareness of how words impact your body, everything changes. Your words aren't just noises fading into the air. They actually seep into your blood, your skin, and the space around you. When you say something with true feeling, especially if you keep repeating it, you're creating real changes in your body. This isn't just a flowery idea. It's a real biological fact most people miss. Every word you say with intention becomes part of your cells, affecting not just your thoughts and feelings, but also the very makeup of your body. Your words shape your subconscious, but they also alter the essence of your physical being. To grasp how significant this is, you need to know what your body really is. Over 70% of you is water. But this isn't plain old water. It's water that holds meaning. It's been influenced by every thought, word, and feeling you've had. This information gets imprinted in the very molecules of your being. The water flowing through your blood nourishes your cells and supports your very being. When the ancient texts say, "Let there be light," it's not just poetic language about the divine. It's actually showing us a basic mental law that shapes everything. This same principle isn't only cosmic, it plays out in your everyday life. When you speak with passion and confidence, you're tapping into that powerful creative energy that helped form the universe. You're just applying it to your own life and body. This idea changes how you see the link between your spirit and your physical reality. You're not just stuck in a body that feels separate from your mind. Instead, you're a spirit living through a body, one that reacts to your thoughts and words. Every cell in you is constantly affected by the kind of thoughts and language you feed it. Consider this. When you say things like, "I'm tired," or "I'm getting older," or "my body isn't what it used to be," you're not just voicing a momentary feeling. You're actually giving instructions to the water that makes up your physical being. It's telling your body to feel tired, to age, to struggle. Your cells catch on to what you're saying and start aligning themselves with those negative patterns. On the flip side, when you choose to speak words of life, health, and energy, you're instructing that same cellular water to rejuvenate and operate at its best. Your body doesn't know the difference between harsh truths and positive affirmations. It just reacts to whatever emotional signals you keep sending through your speech. That's why ancient wisdom valued words so highly, and why every good healing method involves using some form of verbal or mental guidance. They realize something that modern science is just catching up to, that consciousness and physical matter aren't separate. They're just different ways of expressing the same creative force. This journey we're on together shows that true transformation isn't just about changing your thoughts or making improvements. It goes much deeper. It's about realizing that you play a key role in creating your own reality. You do this through the intentions you set with your words and feelings. Let's dive into how you can use this idea in parts of your life that feel tough to change. If you get this, write in the comments, "My words transform matter." When you start to see the link between what you say and what happens in your life, you'll notice that many ongoing problems aren't really due to outside factors like genetics or bad luck. They often stem from unconscious self-talk that's been running in the background for years. Take, for example, a patient who struggled with chronic skin issues for ages. No matter what treatments she tried, nothing seemed to work. It turned out that she was unknowingly keeping her condition alive with negative phrases she repeated daily, like "this never goes away" and "I'm always sick." She thought she was just stating facts about her health. In reality, she was cursing herself through her words. Each time she said those things, her subconscious took them as orders to keep her symptoms going strong. But change came when she learned to switch those harmful phrases for healing ones. Instead of saying she was sick, she began affirming, "My skin responds with perfect health. Every cell in my body knows how to heal, and I am whole, healthy, and completely restored." The results? Incredible. In just 20 days of this new self-talk, her skin condition improved so much that even her doctors were amazed. This story shows just how much our words shape the challenges we face in life. Many people find themselves stuck in the same issues, whether it's health, money, relationships, or work. It's not just bad luck that's keeping them down. Often it's a specific idea planted long ago, quietly reinforced over the years. What's tricky is that these ideas usually don't come from our own choices. They often come from things we heard as kids or beliefs we picked up from others without even realizing it. These invisible limits get passed around in families and communities, and most people have no clue it's happening. Think about the phrases you heard growing up. Maybe it was, "money doesn't grow on trees," or "good things don't last," or "people like us don't get those chances." These weren't just throwaway lines. They were beliefs being installed in your mind by folks who learned the same things. The sad part? Most people carry these borrowed beliefs throughout life, never questioning if they're true or if they're really helping them. They accept these foreign ideas as their personal truth, and then wonder why some areas of their life just don't get better, despite their best efforts for change. But here's the cool part. The same way these chains were put in place, you can actively break them. Once you identify the phrases and beliefs holding you back, you can start to reprogram your mind with more empowering thoughts. You're not battling some unknown force or genetics. You're simply updating outdated beliefs in your mental system. The key is understanding that these limiting ideas stay powerful only through repeated, unthinking acceptance. Once you recognize this programming and start consciously replacing it with positive alternatives, those chains begin to fade away. Now, let's dive into the most freeing part of this whole process, because there's a specific technique to help you move forward. Identify and start to change any limiting beliefs that have been running in your subconscious. Write in the comments, "I see my invisible chains." If you're beginning to notice how those past beliefs are affecting your present life, this technique to identify and replace those limiting thoughts will make sense. Think about how inherited beliefs play a role in our closest experiences. Take a woman who kept getting in the way of her own healthy relationships, even though she truly wanted love and partnership. She kept choosing partners who weren't available, stirring up conflict, or pulling back just when things started to get serious. It was a confusing cycle until she uncovered the hidden beliefs that had been shaping her romantic life since she was a child. She often heard her mother say, "Love always hurts," during tough times. As a kid, she took that to heart, not as just one person's opinion, but as a universal truth about love. Her subconscious accepted that belief as a rule, striving to make her experiences of love fit that idea. Whenever she was close to experiencing a nurturing and peaceful love, her mind dismissed it as not real, because it didn't include the pain she had been told was part of love. The change began when she saw that love always hurts wasn't a universal truth. It was a lie passed down through her family. Once she recognized this, she could start to replace that negative programming with uplifting thoughts. She began to affirm that real love nourishes and that she deserves a joyful, peaceful partnership. Her romantic experiences began to shift to align with this new understanding. This same inherited limitation can also affect how we relate to money. Poverty usually isn't just about lacking resources or opportunities. It often comes from clinging to wrong ideas that we've accepted as truth. Ideas like rich people are bad can influence our financial outlook. People often say money is the root of all evil. They think nice things aren't meant for folks like us. But these beliefs don't reflect reality, they create it. When your mind is set on the idea that wealth is wrong or that you don't deserve success, it works against you. It blocks chances, stifles creativity, and keeps you stuck in a familiar but limiting routine. These hidden beliefs can affect not just you, but whole families and communities. For generations, limiting ideas get passed down like tradition, instead of being seen as outdated programs that can be changed. What's freeing is realizing you don't have to hold on to beliefs that don't help you thrive. Even if they come from those you care about, you can respect your roots while updating any thoughts that keep you from achieving health, love, and creativity. The path to reprogramming your mind is about claiming your mental independence. It means looking at the beliefs you've inherited, figuring out if they still work for you, and choosing which ones deserve a place in your mind. It's not about rejecting your past or dishonoring where you came from. It's about owning your thoughts and taking control of your mindset. As you start this process, you'll find that many limits you thought were true actually come from other people's fears and experiences. They're not yours. They slipped in during moments when you were feeling vulnerable or just soaking up what was around you. Now let me share a simple way to spot and change these inherited limits. There's a practical method that makes this whole process easy and effective. Just say, I choose. If you're ready to take charge of what's running in your subconscious, there's a simple way to do it. It's all about understanding the deep link between your mind and your body. Your body isn't just a bunch of parts working separately from your mind. Every single cell is tied to your subconscious, and every organ reacts to your thoughts just like a musician's strings respond to their touch. Once you truly see this connection, you learn that your mental focus can actually heal your body. It's not about waiting for outside help. It's realizing that your subconscious is already in control of everything your body does, from your heartbeat to how you fight off illness. And the key is to take a role in guiding that process instead of letting it happen on autopilot. Here's a powerful example of how quickly this can work. There was a woman struggling with arthritis so badly she couldn't even open a milk bottle without pain. Her hands were stiff and everyday tasks were a real challenge. Traditional treatments weren't helping her, but instead of giving up, she decided to try something different. She began speaking to her hands like they were willing partners in her recovery. 3 times a day, she'd focus on her hands and lovingly say, "Blessed hands, flexible and young, obeying God's law." This wasn't just a rote chant. She meant it with the kind of warmth and belief you'd show when encouraging someone you love. Remarkably, after just 20 days of doing this, her pain vanished completely. Her flexibility came back, her strength improved, and she could use her hands fully again, all without any extra medical help. What happened wasn't some magical event. It was simply the powerful outcome of engaging her subconscious mind. Instead of unconsciously programming your body with thoughts of pain and stiffness, imagine giving clear, loving instructions about how your hand should move. This shows us something truly amazing about the hidden potential in every person's body. Your organs, tissues, and cells are always getting messages from your subconscious mind, and what you think, say, and imagine plays a huge role in that. When you learn to consciously guide this communication, you unlock your body's amazing ability to heal and renew itself. Think about what this means. Every time you say things like, "My back is killing me," or "I'm falling apart," or "This body is getting old," you're telling your body to decline and malfunction. But when you start talking to your body with respect, gratitude, and positive encouragement, you kickstart healing responses that were always there but just needed a nudge to be activated. What we're uncovering together is that your body isn't your enemy or just a machine working on autopilot. It's your loyal partner in this journey of life. It responds faithfully to whatever mental direction you give it, whether that direction is positive or negative. The power of choice in what you say to it is all yours. This insight changes how you look at any physical issues or health concerns. Rather than seeing your body as something that's against you or falling apart, you begin to view it as a smart system, simply following the instructions it's been given through your thoughts and feelings. The most freeing part of this realization is knowing that the same mental power that can help your body can also be used in any area of your life where you want to see change. Let's dive deeper into this idea because there's a state of mind that combines everything we've learned. If you're ready to start talking to your body with the love and authority it deserves, write in the comments, "My body listens to me." This shift in consciousness can change everything for you. When you really get how prayer works and how your inner thoughts shape your outside life, things start to change. Your body responds to your thoughts with incredible accuracy. This insight shows that the same principle applies everywhere in your life. It's about using prayer in a more directed way instead of just asking for help. True prayer isn't about begging on your knees or hoping for favors from some distant God. It's about speaking out with confidence to the creative force within you. It's a shift from waiting for answers to activating the energy that's already there. Instead of pleading for someone outside to step in, you're directing the same power that keeps your body functioning, like healing wounds and pumping your heart, to influence your life, your relationships, and the opportunities around you. Think about how profound this idea really is. The same intelligence that keeps your cells working and you alive is interwoven with the creative force that shapes your world. They're just two sides of the same coin, working at different levels. When you pray in this way, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for help. You're joining forces with the very power that's already part of your life. Your prayers turn into clear instructions instead of desperate pleas. But there's more going on behind the scenes that affects whether your efforts lead to real change or just temporary fixes that fade away. Your mind is like a digestive system. Understanding this changes everything about how you think and transform. Just like your stomach processes food to give you energy, your subconscious breaks down your thoughts and feelings, converting them into your reality and emotional states. Your reality isn't just a metaphor. It's about how your mind turns thoughts into experiences. Everything you think, every image you picture, every word you say, and every feeling you hold shapes your life. Just like your health depends on what you eat, your life depends on the mental food you give your subconscious. This explains why some folks breeze through life while others are always struggling, no matter how hard they try. Those who succeed have good mental habits. They pick positive thoughts, choose uplifting images, and focus on the right emotions. But many people, they're stuck munching on mental junk food. They fill their minds with worry, complaints, negative news, and limiting beliefs, all while wondering why their lives are a mess. They want good outcomes, but feed their minds toxic thoughts. Transformation isn't just about changing what you do or improving your situation. It's about owning the mental food you're giving your subconscious every day. When you realize your thoughts are the ingredients for your reality, you start to choose more wisely what you let into your mind. There's a key moment in anyone's journey when they see things in a whole new light. It's when they realize how they relate to the creative power of existence. If you're ready to take charge of the thoughts and images shaping your life, say it loud in the comments. I control my mental diet. It totally changes the game when you take real responsibility for your mental health. Your subconscious doesn't work like the math you learned in school, where 1 + 1 always equals 2. Instead, it's more like multiplication. Just one strong belief, packed with emotion, can lead to incredible changes, way more than you'd expect. This idea helps explain why some people seem to have amazing breakthroughs, often after just a few small adjustments to how they think. They're not lucky or chosen by the universe. They've figured out how to tap into that multiplication effect that naturally exists in our minds. When your inner self believes in something fully, it doesn't just create a little bit of that reality, it spreads that belief across your entire life. Consider what this really means. A single moment of true belief in your health, worth, abilities, or future can create waves of change that touch everything you do. But on the flip side, When you unwittingly program in limitations or fears with enough emotional weight, your subconscious will amplify those too, no matter if they align with what you actually want. This insight leads us to a truly freeing realization about what ancient wisdom called the original sin. It's not about eating forbidden fruits or following rules from others. It's much more personal. The real original sin is forgetting your inner power and losing your rights as the creator of your own life. It happened when we stopped nurturing our bodies with love, when we stopped directing our health and destiny with purpose, and started looking elsewhere for the power that was always supposed to flow through us. That was the real fall from grace, trading our active role in shaping our lives for a passive stance as victims of our circumstances. This hidden authority holds the key to every spiritual lesson and transformation process. You weren't meant to just passively take what life throws at you. You were made to actively engage with the same creative force that built the universe. The power that called forth light and formed galaxies isn't distant or separate from the awareness that sees through your eyes and speaks through your voice. What we've been discussing is all about rediscovering this core truth and learning to use your divine gifts wisely. When you realize your words can create, your thoughts shape your world, and your feelings trigger changes in your subconscious, you can't see yourself as a victim of life anymore. This shift changes how you view yourself and how you relate to life's ups and downs. Instead of waiting for someone to save you or hoping things will magically get better, you start to see that the same force that keeps your heart beating and heals your wounds is right there, ready to help you shape your reality based on what you focus on with intention. This awareness doesn't just change you, it impacts those around you too. When you fully embrace your role as a creator instead of a victim, your new outlook can inspire others. Your transformation sparks awakening in those ready to reclaim their own power. Now let's dive deeper into what living fully awake looks like. If you're ready to step into your role as a partner with the universe's creative energy, write in the comments, "I remember my authority." This journey begins with the understanding that the Garden of Eden isn't just a historical place, but a state of mind. It's a way of living where you truly feel your deep connection to everything around you. We all come from a creative source, and it's essential to remember that instead of getting caught up in feeling separate or limited. Think about that ancient story where people hid among the trees after the fall. It's a great symbol for what so many of us do when we forget who we really are. Instead of confidently stepping into our creative power, we hide behind excuses, labels, and societal norms that deny our inner divinity. We tell ourselves stories about why change isn't possible for us. We think our situations are different, or that those success principles won't work for us. But this hiding is just a way to shield ourselves from facing our truth. It's often easier to feel like a victim of our circumstances than to embrace the huge responsibility that comes with recognizing our true power to create. Sticking to limitations can feel safer than diving into the unknown of conscious creation, even if that unknown holds endless possibilities. Yet, there comes a time in everyone's journey when hiding just won't cut it anymore, when those old excuses stop convincing you and you're nudged to live as if you already know. It's not about pretending or wishing for things to change. It's about realizing that everything you need to build the life you want is already inside you, just waiting for you to tap into it. The key to this way of living is knowing that your subconscious mind doesn't respond to pleading or desperate hopes. It reacts to the feeling of already having what you want. When you walk with that quiet confidence, believing your prayers have been answered and your prosperity is on its way, you trigger something powerful. This is where the difference lies between simply hoping and having active faith. Hope waits for proof before believing. Faith moves forward with gratitude even before the results show up. The creative journey starts in your mind before it shows up in the real world. When you act like your good fortune is inevitable, you connect with the same confidence that brought the universe to life. Imagine how that changes your everyday life. Instead of worrying about signs of progress or trying to force things to happen, you navigate your day with the calm understanding of someone who knows how creation works. You speak with confidence because you realize your words hold weight. You make choices clearly, trusting the wisdom flowing through you. You treat your body with care, recognizing it as the sacred home of your creative spirit. This isn't being cocky or ignoring reality. It's about remembering your true self and living from that truth instead of the illusion of helplessness that so many people get caught in. When you act like you already know, you're not faking anything. You're finally showing the real you that's been hidden under habits and limitations. Our journey together has shown that change isn't about becoming a new person. It's about peeling away everything that hides your true self as a conscious creator. Every idea, every method, every insight we've talked about leads to this important truth. You already have what it takes to shape the life you want. The daily practice that puts all this knowledge into action is simpler than you might think. But don't let its simplicity trick you into thinking it's not powerful. Tomorrow morning, before your mind starts running through old routines or worries about the day, take just 5 minutes to talk to your subconscious like you're guiding the best assistant ever. Tell it what kind of day you're crafting, what health you're embracing, what opportunities you're welcoming. Then, as you go through your day, notice how much different you feel when you're acting as a conscious creator instead of an unconscious victim. Pay attention to how your words carry more purpose and how your choices feel. You know how sometimes things just seem to fall into place? Those moments that used to feel like pure chance? That's what happens when you start to get these principles we've been talking about. What we've explored is just the start of what can happen when you accept that you're in control of your subconscious. If any of this resonates with you and you feel that familiar spark where old wisdom meets new ideas, then you're in the right spot to dive even deeper. I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. We're creating something special here, a community of people ready to break free from feeling powerless and step into their creative power. Every video I make offers real tools for real change. These aren't just nice-sounding ideas, they're practical techniques that actually work. If you've stuck with me through this whole discussion and something inside you has stirred, please leave a comment saying, "This message was meant for me." That way, I'll know you're part of this awakening community. Your presence here is no accident. You were open to these truths, and that openness brought you to the right message at the perfect time. If this conversation has sparked new ways of thinking for you, hit that like button. It helps others discover these ideas when they're ready to embrace them. There's a video right here that takes everything we've talked about and shows you how to use it for financial abundance. You'll learn specific techniques to create a mindset of prosperity that most never find out about. Click over there and let's keep this journey going because your transformation is just beginning.